too much
game.
Chirping.
Way too much chirping. So Ayuk's girlfriend basically says, this could be the last time we touch the Levi Stadium turf. And Brendan Ayuk's brother on Instagram is out here Snapchatting and telling stories. This is the exact reason why we leave in San Francisco. Thank you, 49ers, for drafting my brother. We are forever grateful. BA to Vegas. Why does your all-pro 1,300-yard receiver have 3 catches in the Super Bowl? So there's obviously some unhappiness with Brendan Ayuk, and this could be some posturing for a contract. But here we go with the family members talking. Here we go with the, hey, thank you for the memory, San Francisco. We went through this with Deebo Samuel. And if we go through it with Brendan Ayuk, so be it. But
see it.
That's a player that I do not know. I hear that drop, Spinoni. No, Brendan Ayuk and Devontae Adams would be wicked together. You cannot let this guy out of the building.
But does he have okay, you are one of probably the bigger Brandon Ayuk fans that I know. I think he's a really good player. Me personally, I think he's just a tick below what I would consider the 6 guys that are at the top of the league. Okay, he's still excellent. He's an excellent player. Does he dictate, is it warranted for him to have a gripe not getting that many looks, that many targets in this game?
Yes.
You think so?
Absolutely. He's your number one receiver. He's your number one wide receiver when it comes to route running, going downfield, double moves.
Okay.
He's your guy. He's a guy, when you went out in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and took on the Steelers in week 1, the Niners offense said, you know what? Brendan Ayuk needs 8 targets. And you know what he did? He caught all 8 targets. He caught 8 passes on 8 targets and had a monster day. This guy in 16 games, 75 catches, 1,342 yards, and the lack of targets he received, this is a monster season. And you get to the Super Bowl, and you only get 6 targets. You're throwing to Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings is a nice player. But how the hell does Deebo Samuel get 11 targets in this football game? And Brendan Ayuk gets 6.
Because Deebo, I'm not trying to say you're right or wrong. I'm just trying.
That's not even about that. It's just,
but Deebo got only 3 carries, so you're going to try to get Deebo the ball, and some of those passes are pop passes and swing passes.
But they're on that.
Agreed.
They're on that. You have to adjust it for Shanahan. You have to get Ayuk in some one-on-one situations and say, you know what? You want to get paid, you need to beat McDuffie or Snead one-on-one. And at times he did, especially when Chris Jones ran scot-free, which caused some other beef on Twitter that we'll get to in just a second. But B.A. deserved at least 8 targets in this football game. To walk off that field with 6 targets, 6? I have a problem with that.
Okay. Well,
you got to get your playmakers the ball. And like Travis Kelce, 1 catch, 1 yard at halftime. Then he explodes in the second half. Kansas City made sure to force feed their playmakers.
But it's also a byproduct of he's clearly their number one. When I look at the Niners, I don't think Brandon Ayuk's their number one.
In the pass game?
Well, I think it's just McCaffrey's just their number one in general.
But in the pass game?
I think it depends. I think this is
McCaffrey.
When you have so many great weapons, I do think it can muddy things. Personally, I thought balance was the way to go in this game. But when they're taking away certain elements and they're heating you up, I think it's easy to look back. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I think big picture, you're always saying, hey, you need to feed Brandon Ayuk. And I agree with you. But I think when you look at the situationally, he's running a lot of deep routes. They're smothered. They're all over him.
Well, I think Ayuk had a couple plays where he is running wide open and he's not getting the ball. And he was showing frustration all throughout the playoffs in terms of not getting the football and being wide open. And Purdy not making a throw or missing him. So, look, I get you want to get Deebo the touches, and I'm as big as I love this core. I love this duo, I should say, at wide receiver. But if Kittle's not going to be involved in the pass game, and he only gets 2 catches for 4 yards, I'm giving Deebo 11 targets and Ayuk only 6, and Juwan Jennings. How many targets Juwan Jennings have in this football game when I look at his stats here?
He had that big third down catch. He had the other one off to the side on the little scramble play.
5 targets. And Juwan Jennings made the most of his targets. 4 catches, 42 yards on 5 targets.
Conley got 1. Ray got 1, right?
This is a wide receiver who led the league in yards per catch.
No, I know. But, here's an example.
I mean, come on. This is Brandon Ayuk. We're treating him like he's a freaking bum.
No, but
he's a bona fide star. Let's be real.
I don't know. I just looking at like great example. The great play by McCaffrey late in that game, the little swing pass.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the play. I think the play was a drop back going somewhere else. They heated up Purdy and he improv'd and had to get rid of the ball quickly. I think it's more on Kansas City and what Kansas City did than a lack of the Niners not trying to get it to Ayuk. And I think it's easy for him to feel frustrated when you lose and you don't get the looks. And I get where he's coming from.
You know what?
But I'm leaning more like Kansas City did that.
No, they did that. But at the same time, can I diagram some plays and just get my playmakers? This is why I pay Shanahan. This is why I pay Shanahan the big bucks to be an offensive guru. To get my playmakers in one-on-one situations and get good matchups for my playmakers, dictating good matchups. Now, maybe Spags was just all over them. But I just, it's too many games in these big games where I see my playmakers. George Kittle, 3 targets, 2 catches, 4 yards. How does that happen?
And one of them was just like a throwaway from Purdy up and over the top where he had a one-on-one. I don't even know. It was like an option route, Romo's saying. I don't even know what George was looking at.
Right.
It's 3rd and 11. Get a first down. You're going deep shot.
I mean, listen, man.
On the one play, Ayuk kind of stuttered. I don't know if he comes down with that ball because it was a little deep, but he stuttered and hesitated ever so slightly because there was some contact at the top of the route. I don't know. There were opportunities in this game. I just think the offense as a whole was a tick off.
To say, there's some people out here saying Ayuk's season wasn't impressive.
No, it was really impressive. Yeah.
Let me just, again, 75 catches, 1,342 yards in 16 games. In this offense where you're force-feeding McCaffrey and you're a physical, run-the-football type of team that wants balance and you want to get to 30 carries. I got 75 catches, 1,342 yards, and led the league in yards per catch. That's not impressive, folks? Come on, man.
I just look at more like the byproduct of our offense. When I think about our offense, I think of we're going to do the running game, and then we're going to do some play action, and then we're going to have the deep in cuts to guys like Brandon Ayuk, and we're going to hit those layered throws. A, they weren't running the ball well, so they weren't biting on any of the play action stuff. And then B, I didn't think they had enough time to hit any of these intermediate deep stuff.
I didn't like the pass game play calling. I really didn't. I can't see us all up. Again, you need to beat teams outside the numbers in these big games. You need to stretch the field and get these guys outside the perimeter or whatnot. I didn't see enough of that. Let's go to Robin San Bruno. I think that's
a really good remark there.
Let's go to Robin San Bruno. Rob, what's happening?
What's going on, fellas? First off, Brandon Ayuk, he's a stud. And I don't want to see – if I see Brandon Ayuk, B.A. leave, and he go to Houston with D'Amico, God forbid he go to KC. God forbid he go to Baltimore. God forbid he go to Buffalo. God forbid he go to Cincinnati. God forbid he go to the Raiders. Come on, man. God forbid he hit San Diego. I mean, L.A. Chargers with Herbert and them boys down there. Don't do that. So, I mean, I thought he had a problem with the Niners years ago for what they did him a couple of years ago when they benched him for Mohamed Sanu. So I think this is more about that than what actually went on about the Super Bowl, because I thought the Super Bowl. I told a lot of people, KC on the little routes, KC Spagnola and them DBs all years they've been great DBs. Mm-hmm. I'll do this. If the Niners are smart, I like the way the KC DBs plays. I like Mooney Ward. I feel like if Snead a free agent, we go get Snead. Whatever corner they don't want to pay in KC, we go get McDuffie or Snead because them guys are very, very good players.
I agree.
They can hit, they can pass it and everything else. So them dudes is good. But I'm on Kyle Shanahan here today. I told y'all before the year started, this is about Kyle Shanahan. No, he's not Kyle Schottenheimer. He passed Kyle Schottenheimer. He's the other guy. He's the Buffalo guy now. He's Kyle Levy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, his offensive scheme got exposed once again by top-of-the-line coaches. How many times we going to see is Bill Belichick got him? Bill Belichick got his daddy years ago. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Spags got him twice. This system is not built to beat AFC teams. Look at our record versus playoff teams versus AFC. We lost versus the Browns playoff teams. The Bengals should have made the playoffs if Wilson would get hurt. We lost versus them. Yep. We got killed versus Baltimore. So my thing, the scheme got exposed. And Purdy, look, man, I told y'all Purdy's a product of Kyle Shanahan. Cal called a bad game. Purdy had an average game.
Good stuff, Rob. We got to